And what is up, YouTube? We are now past a week into Delve. We're about 10 or 11 days into the league, and I wanted to check in, see how things were going with y'all. Of course, you probably tuned in and watched the videos over the weekend about how Loreweave was going for us. Loreweave was a fantastic moneymaker for us, and pretty much all I've been doing is leveling this this solo farmer guy, and then making trades for Loreweave. That's really all I've been doing, and it's been funding a lot of the guild's builds as well as my own personal builds. And I wanted to chat today really quickly about just the fun that is Delve, and compare it a little bit with between Delve and then Incursion. So I don't think I'm stating it too strongly, and I don't think I'm being hyperbolic or being exaggeratory when I say that I think Delve is better than Incursion. I don't think there's any debate on that. I think that this scheme of being able to interact with a series of choices, and being able to just have just all of these wonderful different choices, like Delve did for Incursion in offering a side quest or a side zone or a side goal that you could interact with as you're leveling, as well as also potentially add to the end game of Path of Exile. What Delve has done for PoE is kind of it's similar to what PoE did for skill trees, honestly. So when you think about the skill tree, like one of the very first things that you can think about when you think about PoE and the replayability of PoE and what makes PoE so attractive is this. It's the skill tree. And you can go look up on Twitch or on YouTube or on Clipit or on Reddit, and you can just search for people's reactions. Like it is a whole category unto itself of people reacting to the very first time when they pop open the passive tree. It's a really, really cool, fun thing to see people in their excitement and how they interact when they see the passive tree, and they're just like, whoa, like look at all these choices that I can make. And then as people start to learn the game, and it's really fun because we get to do this here in the G3 community and here on the channel, we get to teach people about the game and share our passion for learning about the game, because it's not that we're the experts here, we're constantly learning ourselves. Like it's really fun to see as well as experience when people go, oh wow, you mean this isn't a class-based game? Like you pick a class, but then where you go on the tree is up for grabs. And then oh, look at all this gear, like I don't have to socket. Like the first time you have a conversation with a new player about not having to socket your damaging abilities into your weapons, they're like, well, that means that there's more sockets on my chest piece, and I could link it with more stuff. Yes, it's amazing. Like there's so many fun intricacies to this game and so many decisions. Like that's ultimately what it comes down to, and I guess that's the reason for the title for the video. Like Delve is greater than Incursion. Not that Incursion was bad, but because Incursion was awesome and it offered you a layer of choices. It almost spoon-fed us and taught us, hey, here are some choices that you can play with. And so I almost wanted to chat about this as though Incursion was almost the tutorial for Delve. So I've heard some people talk on Reddit and on the forums about, well, we wish that like the first couple of cart missions were tutorial-esque. I'm not saying that those sorts of tutorials wouldn't be helpful. But what I'm saying is, as a player base, as a community base, for many of us that have played through Incursion, and I know the guild has grown and the channel's grown through Incursion, as well as dating back through Harbinger and through Abyss League, like we as players are seeing more and more options, and the game itself can offer us more options that we appreciate, as there are leagues that iterate almost in the same fashion that jazz does with music, where there's a theme and then good jazz iterates on that theme or plays off of that theme or that same chorus or that same musical concept. Like that's what's going on here in PoE, and that's one of the things that's so great about PoE, I think, is the number of options that are given to you as a player. And many of those options are not required. Like many of those options are not, oh, you have to do this or you have to do that. They're not structured as an either or. They're structured as a but and, right? So there are instances, let me differentiate here. There are instances of an either or. So an either or example is jewel sockets on the passive tree, right? So when you're going around on a passive tree and you know you're going to pass a jewel socket, that essentially is an either or. Are you going to want to use sockets or aren't you? Either you are or you aren't. If you are, then it's one simple passive choice plus socketing a jewel, and it becomes a pretty easy, simple thing to do. With the Abyss League and the advent of Abyss Jewels, this became a much more meta choice to grab jewel choices. Before it was like an either or, well now it's much more like a but and. It's a, well, you got to fit in those abyssal jewels in order to stack your flat damage, and what else are you going to do in order to do that? So that's talking about the meta. But what I mean here is by the but or the either or is feeling like you have to make a choice because the game presents you with two options in order to progress. So Incursion is an example of this. All right, when we were in the midst of Incursion, as you interacted with Alva Vilai, if you clicked on Alva Vilai and you went into an Incursion to explore your temple, you were given two simple options. Go kill the guy on the right, the architect on the right, or go kill the architect on the left. It was either or, right? Very, very simple. Whereas when you get into Delve, and so Incursion led the way for us and essentially taught us, it spoon-fed us players, hey, how do we make these little decisions? And the passive tree also does this to some extent, although the passive tree is a little bit more but as opposed to either or. But Delve, what Delve does is Delve takes it even further, and Delve goes, okay, rather than just saying either or, go kill the guy on the right or go kill the guy on the left, Delve says, hey, we're going to give you a bunch of different options. And how you want to shape that, it's up to you. We're going to have a preset tile set that's going to give you rewards and different options and randomly generate what those options are, similarly to what the temple did, to where it's randomly generated. But hey, where your incursions, or in this case delves, where your delves are at, what types of delves there are, how your mine looks, that all is going to be randomly generated. But it's up to you to make decisions about how you want to shape that, what depth you want to be at, whether or not you want to target farm armors, target farm items, if you just want to keep target farming azurite, so that way you can go back and run through the darkness and pick up fossils. Do you want to do fossil crafting? Do you just want to grab currency in and of itself? Do you just want to fight monsters and just see how far you can push your build? All of these are options that are like and but, or but and options rather than either or. Incursion was either or, this way or that way, right or left. Delve is like, hey, here's the smorgasbord, here's the buffet table. Dig in, like choose what you're going to eat, because and by the way, no matter what you choose, there's going to be more of it. Whereas like there were times throughout Incursion League where you would interact with the league and you'd go, oh man, I messed up my temple, or oh, I made a bad decision here, or oh, if only that thing would have done this, if only this architect would have upgraded a third time, or oh, if only I would have gotten a Shrine of Empowerment in the middle here. Like with Delve, it's almost the opposite of that. It's almost, oh, I want to go grab this thing, let's say I want to go grab this azurite vault right here in the middle. Well, I'm going to farm out around this so that way I can find the particular hidden area that leads to this. Or, oh, I want to go farm this currency. Okay, I'm going to go farm out around here and find the secret way in. Like, those options are there for you. It's not just set up in a either or scenario. You can either go right or you can go left. And by choosing to go right, you're turning down the option to go left. In Delve, it's, I can do this, and then I can go do that. Or I can do this, or that. Or never mind, I can just keep delving, and I'll go back to that whenever I want to. Anyway, Delve is a wonderful example of game choices done well in such a fashion that allow for but and rather than either or experiences. And it's awesome. The first couple of days, flares and dynamites, yes, we all were complaining about it. GGG again showed their integrity as a company, and they came out and they were like, boom, guys, we're going to fix this. Patch 3.4.1 did a great job of that. Patch 3.4.1b did a great job of fixing the fixes. So far, I personally think Delve better than Incursion, and Incursion was awesome. I loved Incursion. Those of you that played and have watched the channel since Incursion, you know I loved Incursion. I'm excited for it to go core in 3.5. I have no idea what it's going to look like, how it's going to interact with Delve, if it'll interact with Delve at all, if Delve is just going to be kind of its own thing if it goes core. I think almost for sure it will. There was talk today by Chris even that they're thinking about doing a fossil tab, which before they weren't sure if it was going to be worth it or not, and now they're certain it is. So they're going to be working on that. So there's lots and lots of awesome things to take away from Delve. I'm super excited to have this guy as a solo farmer. Once I get him leveled up, I'm at level 68 right now, but once I get him leveled up a little bit, I'm super excited to have this guy as a solo farmer. And I'm excited for the economy. The economy, this league is not flooded by bots. The Exalted market is not, you know, ridiculously inflated 11 days into the league like it was for Incursion, where just everything was inflated across the board, and then we had the bot ban and everything crashed. So far, pretty much everything that you could hope for. The economic experience of Delve, the crafting experience of Delve. Like, Delve is better bestiary. All of the things that they wanted to do with teaching us how to craft and giving us different meta options, and even adding options to crafting with bestiary, Delve does, and it does it in a much better fashion. It does it in a more friendlier fashion. It does it by allowing us to go into this supposedly infinitely scaling mine, and you can even see with the global announcements, like, here we go, somebody just made it to 865. Like, there's just so much about this. If you want to push your character, if you want to interact with the economy, if you want to go do endgame stuff, if you just want to farm currency and you just want to flip, or if you just want to make currency, if you just want to go look for a particular item, if you want to test out different builds and just fight a bunch of hordes and see how far you can push it, if you want to go kill Shaper and farm your Atlas. I haven't even talked about that, about how the Atlas and how the Shaper can appear and have strongholds now. You can see my Atlas isn't filled out yet, because I've got this solo guy that I got to do. Mostly was mapping with my support bot over the weekend, and I've mostly been trading lore weaves. Actually, that's the dirty, guilty admission. Which this one is okay. I'll divine that. Let's see what we get. Got some divines here. Let's see what we get here. Can we get a 80? It's a 79 with 47%. Yeah, we'll sell that. We'll sell that. We'll throw that in the lore weave pile. No, I don't want this one to be public because then people spam me. We'll throw it here, best offer. Maybe I'll use it. No, I won't. Who am I kidding? I'm going to sell it. Definitely going to sell it. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, last thing that I wanted to talk about. This is Mercury trade over here. Those of you that can see on the right-hand side. These are all of the different trades that I went through in order to make, or not all the different trades, these are all of the just messages that I sent. I just made that lore weave in 20 minutes. It took me 20 minutes to make 60 trades. Super duper fast. But look at all of these trades. Like, there's like hundreds of clicks. Oh my gosh. It would be faster. It would have been faster for me to just close out of Mercury trade and then reboot it. But I wanted to show you that. Anyway, lots of different trades. Market's moving. The economy's great. Delve offers exciting and choices rather than either or, and this is awesome. How's your day 10, day 11 going? How's your update going? How are things going for you middle of the second week of Delve? Anyway, hopefully you're enjoying it just as much as I am. I'm having the time of my life mining.